honestly, I had no idea what I was going to say at that
Really?
altar. And those words just like came out of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
iconic.
You like inspired a movement.
I had no idea that would happen.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back. October 3rd, Mean Girls Day. Tickets on sale for the holiday show.
This is so exciting.
Big day. Yeah. I love October.
This is the best weather. It's those 2 weeks in the fall.
I love that meme about New York, and it's like the 12 seasons. Not a hot take. It's been circulating for years, but I love when it says fake fall. Like it's like the fake fall, like the blue ball fall. We should redo it.
Blue ball fall.
Well, you know, there's always that like
Did you coin that term?
Yeah, I mean,
Did you make that?
speaking of brisk,
Speaking of blue balls,
speaking of balls, speaking of brisk, I love the word brisk, and it's a 5-letter word. So sometimes I start the wordle with it. It has a lot of letters, you know, like it's not your typical A, E, but it has like 5 different letters. You know, you have an R in there, an S, a K, and then there's a vowel. So I start with brisk every once in a while. I like to mix it up, but that's one that I probably started with a dozen times. Yesterday, didn't start with it, and it was the word.
shut the fuck up. That is crazy.
I could have had a 1. I've never had a 1, so I started with.
I am shook by this.
I think I started with alone. I don't know what I was going through.
I'm glad you brought up the word alone, because I would like to discuss your behavior with the Wordle. Every time I look at Ashley and she's really serious, like when we are alone in the car, she's on Wordle. Every time we're at a dinner and I look at her, there could be a group of people. She's just solo on the Wordle at dinner.
Wait, when was I doing it once? And I forget where I was doing it, and everybody was like, please don't do it.
At
And
your parents' anniversary dinner? Like 14 people there, and you were on the Wordle. Me, you, and Kate were at brunch in Chicago, about to go to the airport. You're on the Wordle. Every time you stop talking, you look really serious. I feel like something's wrong.
I
You're on the
rarely
Wordle.
get like reprimanded for my behavior in public. And that was the first time people were like, it's not cool, Ashley.
Usually it's not worth it, because you're going to be like, what? And I don't want to, I'm just going to let you fly.
Yeah,
That's the time that I'm like, I got to say something.
But yeah, you and I are in the cars so much together. We don't sit there and like give each other undivided attention. Like how many times we both get in a car to go somewhere, we have to do stuff on our phone. Let's not get it twisted, Rayna. Oh my God. Like you get in, you're doing something. I get in, I'm doing something. I'm not like, let me give this bitch my undivided attention when I saw her 24 hours in a row.
I want it. We were on TV this morning and it came up too, and you were like, we just don't like, because she was like, you guys do everything together, and you're like, we're good to say to each other, like, I need my space. But
Yeah.
you just take it to do the Wordle.
So we did the Tamron Hall show. We had such a good time. Live TV, always a risk with us, but we did it. We did it.
We were there.
We didn't mess up. No one's getting fined. And I do think that was like the funniest line of the show. She was like, do you guys do everything together? And Rayna said, what'd you say? Like everything except sleep with each other. And it was really funny. It was funnier. We'll post the clip.
We'll post the clip.
I thought that was like the best moment of the show.
Thank you. I was really proud. But we'll talk about it in 1 second. We're going to thank our partners, and we're going to talk about all the things that are going on in our week. So thanks to HelloFresh for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Go to HelloFresh.com/GGE65 and use the code GGE65 for 65% off plus free shipping. And thanks to Buffy for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Buffy makes award-winning bedding that's soft on you and soft on the earth. For $20 off your Buffy order, visit buffy.co and enter the promo code GGE.
Yes, and thanks to Base for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Base lets you pack up your stuff and hit the road with high-quality, well-designed travel bags and accessories that won't break the bank. Right now, Base is offering you 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/GGE. And thanks to Native for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Native makes safe, simple, effective products that people use every day with trusted ingredients. Get 40% off your first 3-pack of Native body wash at nativedeo.com/GGEDEO or use promo code GGEDEO at checkout. Okay, so guys, we need to tell you something. We are very soon, could be next week, we just don't want to make promises because you never know, are going to be on YouTube, full episodes. I've got to stop picking my nose, and we're going to do this.
If you guys are wondering, because you've been saying for years, I would love to watch the show. If you're wondering why we haven't, it's because Ashley picks her nose.
No, I listen. I
And
don't
her
like
toes. It is and her toes. It is crazy. Again, I rarely reprimand Ashley for her behavior, but one day we were in a meeting and Ashley plucked off her full gel pedicure on the floor during a meeting. It was so distracting. I kept being like, you got to stop this. And you were like, it's not like I'm picking my toe jam.
Thank you for saying that, because my next thing I was going to say was, it's not like I'm picking my toe jam. So Rayna knows me so well. Bella, you can settle down over there.
Should we fire her on air? Bella, you're fired.
I feel
Just
attacked.
kidding.
No, I do. It's gross, and I do. It's my gel. It's when I'm picking my toes. I'm like picking my gel. I pick the gel off my hands. I'm trying to quit, but I won't. And it's just what it is. So we are going to be needing to put more makeup on, do our hair. We don't have to.
Probably not.
But
I look how we always look.
It's nice to like how you look when you watch things back.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on YouTube. It could be next week, could be the week after, but in the next coming weeks, you will be able to watch these whole episodes. Do you want to? Who wants this?
So I'm excited to do it and see what the behavior is and see if you guys like it. And you can put us on your television now, which is so cool, and watch us. Invite your friends over, watch it on the big screen. And all of our guests for the foreseeable future will be in person. So it'll be really fun in-person interviews.
Yeah. So stay tuned, literally stay tuned and tune in. And then as we speak, the holiday show is on sale today. Depends on when you're listening, but October 3rd, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Those tickets are going on sale. And you guys, you can't miss the show. It's going to be so good. Apollo Theater. We are so antsy. We're going to blow this out of the water. We're going to book so much entertainment. Like, this is the only show that we are doing until 2023. So we're going so hard, all the things. This is all we have to prep for. And it's going to be major. So get those tickets. They're going to go quick.
Yeah, it's my favorite show every single year. All the shows are incredible. I can't pick a favorite child, but if I did, it would be the holiday shows just because of what goes into it and how special it is. So again, those will go really fast. We know so many of you plan trips to New York around this. So that'll be Thursday night, December 15th at the Apollo Theater. We'll see you guys there.
Out-of-towners come, stay for the weekend, have a little holiday weekend.
Yeah, girlsgottepodcast.com.
Yes.
For everything. Oh yeah, Bella, we should put that on the website.
Well, it's not on sale yet, but we'll cue it up. And we have Deepti today. So excited to chat with her, but we have some updates to go through. I need to give a body update on my rash. Okay. So this has been such a journey, and the story is so funny to me because, as we all know, I had a situation on my butt, in my crack, and I went to the first doctor and she gave me a shot in it. But at that time, she did offer me antibiotics. And I was like, I think I'm fine. Listen, don't judge me. I just was like, I don't feel like doing 10 to 14 days of antibiotics. I'm getting ready to go to LA. Like, you're not supposed to drink on them. I wanted to adhere to that. Like, I just was like, I just don't feel like it. I think I'm fine. I don't see it getting infected. I'm going to take care of it. We have, whatever. I declined the antibiotics. She was like, that's fine. Like, that was just kind of an extra layer of protection. It goes and gets infected. And then I have to get on antibiotics. So from LA, again, the urgent care, they prescribe me these antibiotics. It starts to pretty much go away. Everything's fine. I am on like the final day of the 10-day course of antibiotics. Last week, the day we did GMA, the night before is when I noticed a rash taking over my entire body. I was sitting at GMA watching it like spread. Like, it was started on my chest and my stomach, and it starts to spread to my arms as we're like doing TV. Like, I'm noticing on my legs. I'm like, this is insane.
Well, you texted me first thing in the morning. You're like, I have this rash and it's spreading, and my heart like sunk. Because it's just the worst feeling. Because we talked, I don't want to be aware of my body on stage, on screen, nothing. And so I really felt for you in that moment.
Thank you. I mean, you couldn't really see it. I mean, I had like sleeves on, but I looked down, I was like, here it comes. It's coming to my forearm. So it just spread. We recorded the episode, and then I went to the doctor right after last week. I will say, Bella, she was like, do you think you're allergic to your antibiotic? Because she has had that before, and a lot of people have. I said, well, maybe, but it's been 9 days. Like, I thought if you were allergic to a medicine, it would start immediately.
I've never heard of
or
it
shortly
before.
thereafter.
Yeah.
Sure enough, go to the dermatologist from the first one, who I'd seen 2 weeks prior, and the way she walked into the room was like, hi, Ashley.
back again.
She was like compassionate. She was like, what's going on? And I tell her, and she immediately is like, that's an allergy to your antibiotic, which is so funny because she goes, that's not the one I would have prescribed you, which you declined 2 weeks ago. Like she didn't say,
that's so crazy.
like she was like, when I told her what I was on, it's called Bactrim. If you guys, it's like whatever but it's got a long name, but that's the
your
short
butt
name.
issue is going to be cured by Bactrim.
That's why they get. They're like, we're going to stay on brand.
Oh my God.
And she wasn't snarky. She was totally cool, but she
course.
just was like, I wouldn't have given you that one. A lot of people have allergies to it. You might have an allergy to the sulfur in it, and which was so just fuck me, right? That I declined the one she was going to give me that I probably wouldn't have been allergic to. I go get infected. I get on an antibiotic that gives me a rash. Like the whole journey is just like one giant fuck you to me. And she was just so cool about it. And she was just like, you're so lucky it doesn't itch. And it'll just go away when the antibiotic leaves your system. Stop the course immediately. And it did. It went away within like, I was nervous for the wedding because I was wearing like a crop top and all these things. And it was fine. It did disappear pretty quick. She said it could last up to 2 weeks. So that's the final thing. I think
That's going to happen to your body for a while?
I don't know. I
What's
feel like
gonna be
I feel like the
next?
cyst is trying to come back slowly. It's like creeping back in like an X. It's like, I'm here. It's like subtle, but it's like, can you feel me?
I feel like you're getting better at managing it though. Now you know what to do to zap it. I can't wait to see what body stuff you come up with next. It's probably not going to be me. Nothing's ever wrong with me. I'm going to get that other booster shot.
You're getting boosted?
I'm getting boosted.
Okay.
My second time. I'm already boosted. But I'm going to get
double
boosted.
boost.
I'm going to double boost.
Remember, like all we did was talk about vaccines for like a year.
Yeah.
Like so much of my
We as a
stand-up
country?
was about like, are you Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson? Like that dominated our culture for so long.
Well, it was funny back then.
I kinda
Now when I
forgot.
see a comedian walk out and talk about the pandemic, I'm like, have we not written any more jokes lately? Or
shots fired.
Listen,
I
I don't want to talk about it anymore. You know,
Yeah.
like it's been 2.5 years. We've been through it. I know it's still happening. I understand it. I just don't want to talk about it all the time.
We had to take COVID tests last night.
Yeah, we took COVID tests last night. Bella took them this morning. Bella took 3 this morning. Bella's extra negative.
Bella loves a COVID test.
Our publicist was like, because she had to go take the test at the Tamron Hall show ahead of us. And our publicist was like, is Bella not here? And I was like, no, she's like the most dependable person. There's no chance she wouldn't have shown up. And we couldn't figure it out. And it was because she had to take 3 COVID tests.
Okay, so we need to get back to you and talk about Dallas business card date.
Here's my update. I did see him on Sunday. I tried to bail on the date because it was going to be really late at night.
9 p.m.
It was going to be at 10:30.
Our younger listeners are listening like, oh my God, how late? 2 a.m.? Were you like, I'm sure someone just was like, oh my God, were you supposed to meet up at like 2 in the morning in a rave in Brooklyn? No, 9 p.m.
Please allow me to clarify. He already had dinner plans at 9 p.m. and said he would meet me after. So it was going to be late. And when I go out to dinner, it's like a 2-hour affair. I'm not trying to meet up with a drunk person at 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, 36 hours before we have to go on national television. I was trying to work out on Monday and have
36
a time.
hour. Rayna, you are a 36 hour. I mean, stop it. This is like you saying that.
You know how I feel about my sleep. I need 8 hours. I need it. I'm not
2
like
nights
you.
in a
I
row?
can't- Yes, every night.
You have to
365 nights in a row.
You have to prep 2 days out.
Yeah, I needed to work out on Monday. I need to get something hemmed. I needed to be fully functioning on Monday. And I am not going to mess that up for anybody.
Okay.
Anyways, I
Go
went.
off, Queen. You do you.
Well, I tried to not do it. He said it's like too late, and I was like, "Yeah, let me think about it. I don't know that I really want to like meet up with you so late. I'm not meeting a date at 11 o'clock at night ever, any night of the week. A first date with somebody when they show up drunk at 11 p.m. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so we've taken a leap here.
Yeah.
It wasn't drunk. It was, I mean, but also it wasn't, that was the only time. So it wasn't like,
Yeah, he wasn't being
it's
rude.
a totally different situation than someone suggesting that when you live in the same city or you have other options. This was the only time that you could have seen him. So you did kind of have to suck it up and go.
Yeah, so I tried to bail, and he said, I know that your audience will want an update on what is happening here. And
Stop.
he weaponized me against me. And
No.
I was like,
Wait,
I guess,
that's so cute. You
is
didn't
this
tell
so
me
cute?
this.
Yeah, well, that's what I was ready to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Because I told him that I was talking about how like I had to double text him and that he didn't respond right away. And he was like, I know that they'll want an update. So he used you guys against me. And I'm glad he did because it was really fun. I actually went to the dinner. I met him and his friends at dinner. And then we went to a bar and shut the bar down and then took a walk around New York and had Joe's Pizza at like 2 a.m. And it was a great date. It was really fun. I kissed him.
I love this. Okay, hear me out. Do we need like a kissing episode? Like, I just feel like
about how to kiss,
or just like because I don't think I talked about this. I kissed a guy first like a couple weeks ago, or I mean probably a month or two ago at this point. Like I went in first, and it was like a hot thing, and we could talk about it. I don't know. I just thought this could be an episode topic.
Well, I have questions to ask you. So I kissed him, and I mean I knew he was into me. He told me like 15 times. He was
it's
like attracted
sexy.
to me, and we were in an elevator, and I was like, I'm trying to hook up in this elevator, and we like really went at it in the elevator. I was like, am I gonna pull this e-brake on the elevator?
E-brake. Stop.
And like, he was such a good kisser. He was like biting my lips. I feel like I can tell. Oh, I mean, you know my superpowers. I can tell everybody is in bed just from looking at them. But from kissing, if somebody is like that, I feel like they'll be good in bed. I think that if somebody is like a great kisser, that they can probably fuck well. Like a passionate kisser.
Yeah, I mean, now I just don't want to like blow our load. I feel like I want to do a kissing episode. I'm so passionate about kissing. I could make out for hours.
That's
like
all I
love it. I can't be with a bad kisser. A good kisser gets me wet immediately.
Yes.
Like have had guys I've dated or exes or that I've just hooked up with, and like the second we start kissing, I'm like, I'm ready to go because it's like so hot. It's like so major. It's so important. And I really also look at a guy's lips. Like that's the first thing I look at.
It just makes me want to fuck so bad. If you're like an aggressive kisser in like a sexy way and you're like biting my lips, I'm like, I need to see what else is going on.
And nothing worse than a bad kisser. Let's do this episode. I think it'd be so funny. Okay. I could make out for hours, and I could talk about making out for hours.
I feel like I'm getting turned on just thinking about it.
Okay, so great kisser.
Great kisser. It was a lot of fun. It was nice. Texted me at the end of the night after I left. Texted me the next morning. It was good. All the things.
Like an adult.
We've been chit-chatting. It's great. He is an adult man.
Ugh.
Yes.
Guys. I feel like I know I didn't nail it last time.
I mean, I still had a really good relationship for a long time. So you still picked a really nice, you picked. I mean, I picked him long term. Yeah. I had a great boyfriend who dicked me down well and treated me nicely. Okay. He wasn't my forever person, but I don't regret anything about that relationship.
Okay.
We'll see what happens here. You know, I love a long distance relationship. Can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
Like all men outside of New York City, it felt really intentional. It felt really like we talked about like where you saw like the future going and stuff. It felt really like easy and natural to talk about that stuff. I think people will think a lot about like, how do I bring up that like I want to get married someday, or I want to have kids someday. And there's no right or wrong. It does come up for me a lot on like a first date that I don't want kids in like a supernatural way. And we said this before. I think if you just say like, where do you see yourself living the next couple years, it will usually come up because people will like mention whether they want kids or not. So that came up quickly. We'll see. You know, it was a good date. I'm glad I went. It was a lot of fun, and I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay. Let's take a quick break, and then we will come back and catch you guys up on everything. Okay. I am so excited to talk about Base. This is the luggage and the bags that we are both using. We are so obsessed with, and we have an offer for you. Go to basetravel.com/GGE for 15% off your first purchase. Okay. So have you spotted other Base bags in the airport?
I do it all the time.
I feel like it's like Jeep people. You know, Jeep people see each other on the road and they like honk or, you know.
Yes,
like I'm like, oh my God, is that the Weekender? Is that this? Like I'm noticing it in the airport and stuff because we are just so obsessed with it. So you guys can go on there and you can shop. Again, the Weekender, oh my gosh, they have the Weekender in pink now. I'm going to need another one. There is a mini Weekender. There are the roller bags. There's ones that you obviously carry on. There's ones that you check. Great colors. Let's see, there's a cute work tote, cosmetic pouches. There's dog stuff again. Azul has this leash that has this little kind of pouch on it, wristlet that I can have my phone and wallet in while I walk him. So we love the dog stuff as well. And they're packed with function. The thing we love so much about that Weekender is the bottom is a zipper pocket for your shoes. So you put your shoes in there. They don't have to touch your clothes and just keep everything really kind of separate and clean. That extra layer there. They have the great 360-degree gliding wheels, cushion handles, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for dirty clothes. We love that. Interior pockets, again, multiple sizes. sizes, colors, everything you could want. And again, like we said, we have an offer right now. Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/GGE. That is BEIS travel.com/GGE.
I am excited to talk about Buffy, and Ash and I have been sleeping with Buffy longer we've sleeping with anybody else. And they have tons of stuff. So there's the soft eucalyptus sheets that you guys have heard us talk about, which are cool and hypoallergenic. If you'd like to sleep naked, they're dyed using natural skin-safe botanical dyes. So it feels really great against your skin. It's just like an unparalleled cool softness. And then there's the whole line of Buffy Breeze. So there is a Buffy Breeze sheet set. It's soft. It's cool. Again, gentle on your skin. I sleep naked, and it's just really, really nice against my body. It's made from eucalyptus, which adds extra softness. It's dyed with botanical ingredients like rose and gardenia, which are safer on skin than conventional dyes. And then the thing I have slept with, again, constantly for years, the Buffy comforter, the Breeze. If you are a hot sleeper, if your partner is a hot sleeper, if it's summertime or you live in a warmer climate, this is what you want. It does not retain heat, so ideal for anybody who's a hot sleeper or sleeps next to a hot sleeper. I put it in a duvet. You don't have to. For years, I had it just on top of my bed. It looks really nice. It's fluffy. It's comfortable. It just like never loses softness, and I just love it. Ashley also loves it.
I have the both. I have the Cloud and the Breeze. I do a duvet sometimes, but then like sometimes I'll have the duvet in the wash and I'll like use it raw dog, and it feels so nice too. You can really go either way with it.
Yeah, you know some comforters,
I mix
you
it
see
up.
it on the top of a bed and you're like, that's supposed to
that
be
needs a
duvet.
cover. Yeah.
And the Buffy Breeze comforter is an Architectural Digest 2022 Clever Award winner. So we are both huge fans, and Buffy offers a 7-night at-home trial so you can experience Buffy before committing to buying it. Shipping is free, and customers also enjoy a 100-night free returns policy. We're going to give you guys a discount for $20 off your Buffy order. Visit buffy.co and enter GGE. That's buffy.co, promo code GGE for $20 off.
Okay. What else? Oh, I went to the wedding.
It's the most FOMO I've ever had. It looked so incredible. You looked so beautiful. Our friends looked so beautiful. It just looked amazing.
It was, again, this is my first Indian wedding. It was the whole weekend. It was something Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Started at 2:30 Saturday. I got home at 2. I mean, it was the longest day, but it was so much fun. Started like the procession, the barat, dancing in the street in Broadway. There was a DJ on a truck. There was a horse. Everybody was partying. I was like, this is one of the best moments I've had, like in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wedding was just gorgeous. And again, I loved wearing I wore like the long skirt, the lehenga with the little sequin crop top. And it was stunning. It was at the venue, was called Gotham Hall. It was like out of a movie New York City wedding, just how gorgeous it was, like the venue itself.
It looked incredible.
It was great. I love the speeches. I love all the dances, like the bride side will do a dance, the groom side will do a dance. There's just all these traditions. And during the ceremony, of course, so much stuff that I'd never seen before and experienced before. So I loved it so much.
Well, I'm sad I wasn't there, but I'm happy for you, and you guys all look beautiful. I'll come to the next one. I had a first this weekend. While you were doing that, I watched a dog for a long period of time by myself.
Oh my God, Rayna dog sat. Bella just looked up and Bella looked shook. Bella is giving who would let you watch their dog.
It's our friend Lindsay. She made it very clear that I was the last resort and it was an emergency. We were out at this party together on Friday night, and she just was with me, so I was probably top of mind. But she really couldn't make it clear enough that I was the last resort, and then everyone was out of town.
Yeah, the one time you took Dewey out on the streets, I was like, no one else could take it. Like, I had asked everybody, and then remember, I made you go home. I saw you out on the street. I was like, I told you to stay in the court. I said, I told you to stay in the courtyard. What are you doing? Because he's like a loose cannon.
Dewey's not a starter dog. Like, this is a pug, and I love him, and I've like vacationed with him a lot. Like, he's a person. I spent a lot of time, so he's really familiar with me, and he loves me, and we love each other.
Yeah.
I walked out of her house. He laid down on the floor and like would not move, and I had to keep like pulling him, like, come on, Hank, come on. And it looked like I was abusing an animal. It was so embarrassing. And then like I'd look at people and they'd be like, your dog is so cute, and I feel like I was like appropriating a culture that's not mine. And I just was like, should I like tell people like thank you or whatever? So I walked him to Brooklyn, and then I made Jeremy meet up with me because I like can't raise that child alone. I was scared to be alone with him.
That is so funny.
But it's my first prolonged period alone with the dog. We did okay.
my
It was
God.
good. I brought a bowl. Lindsay made me bring a bowl so I could like stop on our walk, give him water every once in a while. We did all right. We made it through. It was like 12 hours together.
Do you feel changed at all? Or are you like, I could do this?
I was scared I was gonna like fuck it up. It's just, I feel like I could do it. I could just I need to be more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I'm afraid, and also it's somebody else's animal. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I was like, am I allowed to take him for a walk? It's 45 minutes. Is he gonna be okay? 'Cause he's a pug. He's little. I don't know if his little legs can do 45 minutes.
It is so funny when people don't have dogs, or they didn't grow up with dogs, or they've never watched a dog in their adult life, or they just don't know a lot about dogs. I remember an ex of mine watched Dewey pretty early on when we were dating, and he like called me in a panic, and he was like, why is he breathing like this? I was like, he's just panting. I mean, I do. There is a point where it's like not good. You know,
Yeah.
dogs can die, and they're running in the heat, and they're a certain type of dog, whatever. Dewey, not Dewey, but he was just laying on the floor, panting. He was hot. He had a long coat. It was in the summer, and he was like,
my mind.
he was
I'd have a
going
panic
crazy.
attack.
Before he called me, he had called like 4 other friends because he didn't want to worry me. And I was like, he's just a dog. That's fine. It was cute, but it was like, it is funny. You don't know any better.
I've never had a pet in my entire life. My mom was a single parent who worked all day long. She's like, you kids aren't going to take care of it. I don't have time to take care of it. I've never had a pet in my entire life. I love dogs. I just like, I do get scared. I'm going to like overfeed him or like do the wrong thing. Or like he was out in the sun for like an hour and I was like, is this okay? Like he's a black dog. Can he be in the sun for this long? I've never touched a turd and I've never picked one up before in my whole life. Jeremy touched the turd.
My God.
I've never done it. Yes, I know there's a bag in your hand. It's just, I've never picked up a turd. So
it's so gross because it's hot.
that's, I don't want to do it.
No, it's like, it's so disgusting to pick up hot shit.
Everybody does think I'm so crazy, and everybody's always like, "There's a bag between your hands." I know it's still hot.
It's hot. Yeah. But again, that's such a tiny dog. Like,
yeah.
picking up Dewey's huge load, like on the streets of New York. Like, do you remember did I tell on the podcast when he had diarrhea that time and he fell over in it? I think we might not even start the podcast yet.
You told me this. This has happened.
We
since
did talk
started
about it.
the
We did talk about it
podcast.
because I remember like what I did the night before when he ate his entire bag of
Oh my god.
his supplements and had diarrhea all night, and he was like got so weak from his own diarrhea that like the final time he went out and then he fell over in it. And I was like, I can't be a mother. I could never be a mother. Like I just was like, this is more further confirmation that I'm not cut out for this.
I can't even pick up a turd.
And like in New York, like in another city, it would be like, yeah, you hose them down. You have a hose outside the house.
Oh my God, it's
you
so
know what
true.
I'm saying? Like I
Yes.
just fill up like a Brita pitcher and just throw it on him on the street. It was 4 a.m. It was like I had no large container for water, so I just kept filling up buckets of water and dumping it on him on the street. I'm like crying.
Living here is such trash sometimes. That is so funny.
Oh my God. I'm better off now because I have like at least that outdoor space. Like, but to do that on 12th Street at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
And so we made it through. I dropped him off and he was safe. And then this was, so, you know, you and I have this like thing where like I will watch shows. I usually watch shows before you watch shows because you go out more at night than I do and you do comedy at night. I just watch stuff before you do.
Yeah.
This is the most this week that I have ever watched a show before you and then you live tweet it to me right after. So the Bling Ring, the Kardashians, and Tell Me Lies.
Rayna, why did you out me for watching the Kardashians?
What? You and everybody else in America?
I don't need to hype the Kardashians. I don't watch it religiously, but I needed to see this episode about the baby and Tristan, and because we hate Tristan. And
No one hates Tristan
I
more.
just like had to see it.
Yeah. I mean,
Whatever. It's fine. I know that that's a huge show.
they're part of culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Ashley doesn't like to keep up as much as I do. I keep up.
So yes, the bling ring. I haven't finished that yet. I wasn't like as invested, but we can like plug it really quick. It's this new on Netflix. It's like a documentary about this movie.
It's not a documentary about what happened in
I know,
real
but they
life.
keep showing the movie.
It's a 3-part series about this real life thing that these kids, they were known as the Bling Ring, they were robbing celebrities in like the late aughts. So Paris Hilton and Orlando Bloom and Adriana Patterson, they would just break into these homes. They didn't even have to break in, the doors were unlocked. So it was a
wild.
fascinating story. Hermione Granger played the star of the movie. Emma Watson. And it was a Sofia Coppola movie years ago, which I really loved in 2014. And then they made a docuseries about it, which was really interesting and sad. And just, you know, I really felt for one of the girls in the end. But yeah, good watch. It's on Netflix. Easy and quick watch.
Yes. And then Tell Me Lies on Hulu. So we are both loving this show. We said it last week.
It's one of those shows that has like haunted me, and I think really deeply about the characters, because we were even talking in the car because we both were like, I love it. And then we were talking to Bella about it, and then we are like, why do I love it? And then we're like, I love it again.
This show it's about basically this relationship in college that's a very like toxic relationship. I just think it's so relatable to so many people that have been in relationships like that. I love how realistic it feels. Like, it's not this like love story. They don't really even have like an official title. This guy's kind of still seen as ex. I mean, you guys got to watch it. We know so many of you are watching it. It just covers a lot of themes too, even with the other girls, not necessarily the main character, Lucy. I will say, Rayna, did you notice so much doggy style?
So much.
Everybody
Unbelievable amounts of doggy style.
I mean, there is a scene that veers into unconsensual and that she's consented to sex, but then she doesn't want to continue doggy style because it's painful and he doesn't stop. So I just want to put that out there about that scene, which is clearly not enthusiastic consent by any stretch. And a lot of women have experienced it. And I know that scene could be triggering to a lot of people. And it's obviously not okay when things like that happen. But taking that out of it, the other sex too, like it's so much doggy.
It's so much doggy. I liked it. I thought it was a really realistic depiction of college and certain toxic relationships and guys that gaslight you and being too young to be able to like name the behavior.
Yes.
Which I really relate to because I remember things like that would happen and I didn't really know how to articulate what was happening as well. And I'm haunted by the show. I'm really loving it.
Yeah, and it takes place. They flash back, so it starts and it's like 2015, and then it flashes back to 2007. So it's like the BlackBerry age, and the music is of that time. So that's around the time that we were in college, and like Facebook was just kind of starting to pick up steam, and so it's nostalgic in that way too. And you know, I will say, I was thinking about it, that there was less of everything being posted on social media in 2007. So even harder to kind of see what people are doing.
Absolutely.
In terms of like catching him doing stuff. But I like what you said about the gaslighting. Like there's one example that's like the most gaslighting and she doesn't really understand that's happening. You're like young. And then there's scenes of her being like, I just feel crazy. And we've all felt that. But like you said, you can't name it. And you're like, why do I feel like outside of myself? I'm not being myself. And
now I'm apologizing, but it started off that I wanted to like talk about something that was upsetting me in a calm, rational way. And how did this get flipped on me?
It's dark. There's a lot of dark themes. I mean, there's like death and consent, and it just really, it covers a lot. So I don't want it to be like, oh my God, it's just like amazing, like light show. It's really not.
And then lastly, I saw Don't Worry, Darling. I invited you to come with me because we've never seen a movie together.
In the theater. We
never have. But
that is so funny.
I think it got pretty bad reviews from like the critics at first, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it's a 2-hour watch. I think Florence Pugh is so good in it. I think the acting is great. I loved Harry Styles in the movie. I think if you've seen Stepford Wives, it's a very similar movie. No one's talking about this. I'm going to blow it wide open. I mean, it is Stepford Wives with more sci-fi. I thought it could have been longer, and I thought that there was a lot of plot holes. And so I Googled Don't Worry, Darling plot holes, and this Business Insider article came up. And I was reading it, I was laughing so hard. And you even looked at me and you were like, what are you laughing at? Because I was like choking from laughing. So if you watch the movie, which I do recommend, and I really did enjoy it, look up that article because it just made me laugh. It's on Business Insider. Just look up "Don't Worry, Darling" plot holes.
It's so funny, like a list of all the plot holes.
Yeah.
Like, I love reading articles like that.
Well, because I always just want to know. I mean, you do this even more than I do. I just want to know that other people have the same experience with something as I did. So you go to Twitter right away to make sure that like you should like read what the opinions
to validate
are.
my own opinions. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Recs for this week.
Well, I watched Do Revenge, which is a movie on Netflix. And it's a teen movie, of course. That's what I do. And it's like, it's giving kind of like, kind of Mean Girls, kind of Gossip Girl. It's about, revenge and revenge porn, essentially, and friendship and gossip. And it covers a lot of that in high school at this like competitive high school. Private school, probably. Yeah, it's probably like a private school. And I really liked it. I got up. So Kate had told me to watch it. And I got up Sunday morning, like after all the things with the wedding, and I was like, knew I was going to chill and relax all day. And I got up and I put it on at 10:30 a.m. And I just sent her a photo of like, I'm watching this, you recommended it to me a couple times. And she was like, a Sunday morning movie. Like,
that is crazy.
She was like, you're thriving. And so I had posted on my Instagram, like, who else gets up and puts on a movie in the morning? Something about it feels so nice. It feels like so luxurious.
It's luxurious.
Like, I'm not doing this during the week, but I mean, I could, treat yourself. But something about a Saturday or Sunday morning movie, I love it.
Nothing says ultimate relaxation to me like that.
With your coffee.
It's amazing.
It feels so nice.
You really settled it on Sunday. I tried to get you to do a bunch of stuff with me on Sunday.
I was tapped out.
Yeah, you did a lot for a lot of days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is really luxurious. Also, I don't know if I even said what Don't Worry, Darling is about. It's like this utopian society. You guys, you'll figure it out. You'll Google it.
Okay, we have DEEPTI coming soon, but just going to go through a couple more of our partners. I am so excited to tell you guys about Native. Rayna's letting me do it. This is one she always likes to take, but we are both so obsessed. So you guys know I love a shower. Native has body washes that will make your time in the shower less routine and really level up your shower game. So the Clean Effective Body Wash uses simple ingredients to help cleanse your skin, free of sulfates and dyes. It's purified, plant-based, vegan, cruelty-free, leaves your skin moisturized, silky smooth, and residue-free. So the thing that we've talked about before is that they have these incredible scents. I'll go through some of them, but they really do leave a light scent on your skin. Like you don't feel like you have a residue on your skin at all. You feel clean, you feel moisturized, but you lightly smell like it. Like this was like Cardi B said it makes her smell like a cupcake or whatever. Like you really will have just that light, subtle scent from their incredible body washes. And of course, they also do deodorants and toothpaste. We really love it all. And there are limited edition seasonal scents in the Cabin Collection. Okay, so let's just talk about the Cabin Collection. We have limited edition scents, warm cider and cinnamon, cashmere and rain, toasted marshmallow and vanilla, wild wood and cardamom. Oh my gosh. And of course, aside from the limited edition scents, they have their classic scents, coconut and vanilla, lavender and rose, lilac and white tea, cucumber mint, citrus and herbs. So you can get in on those too and just, again, really take your shower to the next level or your bath, whatever you guys are into. So upgrade your shower routine with Native Body Wash. Go to nativedeo.com/GGEDEO or use promo code GGEDEO at checkout to get 40% off your first 3-pack of Native Body Wash. So stock up. That's 40% off your first 3-pack of Native Body Wash by going to nativedeo.com/GGEDEO or just use promo code GGEDEO at checkout.
Oh my God, you guys, you're going to love showering. It really makes me want to shower every single day, which I've never wanted to do before. And let's talk about HelloFresh. It's fall. We're staying home. We're cooking more. We're having more people over. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. They have a great selection for everyone. You can go to HelloFresh.com/GGE65 and use the code GGE65 for 65% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is so easy, so simple, so fun. There is unbelievable amounts of variety. So whether you want sandwiches, burgers, tacos, tons of different types of cuisines, they offer all of it. They have 50 weekly recipes from a huge range of flavors, cuisines, ingredients. Everything is pre-portioned. So they make cooking it really, really simple. And there's tons of delicious add-ons. There's breakfast, lunches, proteins, side dishes, desserts.
Side pieces.
Side pieces. And there's a lot of stuff.
HelloFresh's side pieces.
Get you a side piece. And then for autumn, they have you covered for all of the fall occasions like tailgating and Oktoberfest. If you have a packed calendar and you want something easy to make, they have 20-minute recipes that are low prep, easy cleanup. There's some stuff that I'm liking right now. I feel like every time I go on their site, there's just so many different new things. So right now, the maple Dijon pork meatloaf, which is so fun and great for kids. Fully loaded turkey taquitos, which is great for everybody. And scallops with butternut squash risotto. It's so good, everything that they do, and you guys will have so much fun cooking it. And then if you need to change your schedule, if you need to skip a week, change delivery addresses, everything is really easy to just update your preferences within the HelloFresh app. And we'll give you guys a discount. We know you're going to love it. Go to HelloFresh.com/GGE65 and use the code GGE65 for 65% off plus free shipping.
Okay.
All right, guys, we are so excited to welcome a guest and our new friend today. She is the breakout star of Love is Blind Season 2 on Netflix and the author of the book Out Now, I Choose Myself. Please welcome to the show, DEEPTI Vempati.
Hi.
We are so glad to have you.
Thanks for having me on. I'm so excited. My girlfriends are dying internally that I'm on.
Yes, we gave you a vibrator and you were like, they're going to be so jealous.
Right, they're going to fight for it. I put it in group chat already.
We're doing promo code DEEPTI for 20% off.
Choose yourself is a whole new meaning.
Yes, exactly.
It really means fuck yourself with our vibrators. We're
gosh.
so excited to have you. I've been having so much fun talking to you. And you're here from Chicago.
Yes, good old Chicago.
Not born and raised, but raised?
Yeah, so about 2 hours south of Chicago, if you guys know Illinois State University. I'm from that town.
Okay.
But yeah, I was born in India. I moved here when I was 8.
Okay.
You were 8.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Tough age.
We just love Chicago so much, so it's so fun.
Dude, clearly Chicago loves you guys.
Yeah.
We're obsessed. And so today we're going to unpack some tea from the show. We're going to talk shit on Shake. We're going to get an update on Kyle.
Yes.
We're going to talk about your life before the show and your book and everything. So I don't know where we start.
I'll start.
Actually,
Say, where do we start?
Yes. Okay, well, actually, just give us like a little brief, quick who DEEPTI is from, moving to the States at 8. And I heard you say on Caitlin Bristow's podcast, we listened to most of that because she's a dear friend too. Dear friend. I don't talk like that.
Never heard
I've never said that before in my
ever.
life. Like you said excellent this morning. I was like, you never say that.
Well, what I meant was like, you said this thing and I don't know. I was just like, excellent.
No,
I was
like,
excellent.
excellent.
It was supposed to be like sarcastic, but not rude sarcastic. It was like, excellent. Anyways.
So you said something on her show that your family was not that surprised that you went on Love is Blind. So that made me just wonder more about what you were like growing up. Like, were you outgoing? Did you want to be on TV? Like, just give us a little background on you.
Yeah, no, I was actually really shy. Not shy. I was like a very happy girl. I'm very extroverted, but only with like certain groups of people. Like, do you guys get like that? Like, I'm introverted when I'm around like big crowds sometimes, but when I'm with like my core group of people, I'm like the most extroverted person ever.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I've always been like kind of, not to like toot my own horn, but like the life of the party. Like, I bring a lot of good vibes.
Yes, you have good energy.
Yeah,
Yes, exceptional energy.
Aw, thank you.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent, dude. Party time.
But yeah, growing up, I had a lot of self-confidence issues, like a lot of self-esteem issues. It was bad. Like I would have a lot of negative self-talk. And I hated the way I looked. I was overweight. So I really took the last 4 or 5 years of my life and kind of transformed the way I thought and like retrained my brain to just, think differently about myself. Like, why is anyone else going to see my worth if I don't see it myself? You know? And so that's, when I did the show, when I told my parents about it, they're like, of course you would do something like that.
Really? Yeah.
They're like, only you would do something so crazy. It's like middle child syndrome.
Or you're the middle child?
Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
middle child. I've always been rebellious. Like, I hated school. Even though I was smart, I was like, I don't really care for structuredized like learning. But
You're ahead of your time.
I was like, I need to self-learn.
Well, so were they supportive? Like, go ahead and do your thing?
They were totally supportive. In fact, my mom came up to me because my parents have been trying to get me an arranged marriage since I was 22.
Because they're in an arranged marriage. You were telling us
So
before.
you're like, I'm going to
Exactly.
actually let Netflix arrange this
Yeah,
marriage.
that's exactly it. Dude.
You're like, no arranged marriages, but what I will do
Okay, so you agree with my mom then. Great.
Oh my God, sorry.
No, she literally was like,
triggering.
you are such a hypocrite. She's like, you are such a hypocrite. She's like, you're going to marry someone without ever seeing them and you won't let me get you an arranged marriage. Like, okay.
This is
Your mom's like, what
hysterical
I
to
was
me.
offering you was better than this.
Exactly. She's like, I can send you a picture.
Right, like I could show you photos
Photos.
before you say
Yeah.
yes to a proposal.
So you decide you're gonna do a show. You have like your parents' blessing. What did you think was gonna come out of the show before you like went into it? Were you like, this is fucking stupid, I'll never find anybody? Were you hopeful?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm always hopeful. I never think about like a negative outcome. I'm just like, you know what could go wrong? Like at least you learn something about yourself. And I just wanted to find a unique love story. I really did. I was there to find love. And I was like, you know, if someone else is crazy enough to do this thing too, it means that they're kind of like on the same wavelength as me, right? Like they're trying to put themselves out there to find love.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was hopeful.
Okay, and then you met Shake in the pods. Was there somebody?
Just kidding.
He who should not be named.
You met Voldemort in the okay, you met Shake Voldemort in the pod. Was there anybody else I forget that you were like
We're vibing with.
Yeah, was it wasn't Kyle during the show or it was?
No, it was Kyle. Was my number 2 person.
He
Yeah,
was.
okay, right.
There's
Now I do
also
remember that.
Shane.
Shane. I would fuck Shane. He's got crazy eyes. That guy can fuck. I can just tell.
That's what makes you
I
want to
will
fuck him.
Just
Yeah,
fuck
but like,
him.
what if he's choking you and you look in those eyes? You're like, this is it for me.
It turns her on. It turns her on.
That's the last danger. That's the last thing you see before you die.
The last thing.
okay, I can see some danger.
So, Shake, what was your thought process throughout? Like, were you seeing potential in him? And then obviously somewhere along the lines, you guys realized that you had maybe a similar background. So
Yeah, honestly, when you watch the show, it just feels like they packed so much into
Totally.
that first 2 episodes. But Shake and I talked for like 40, 50 hours in those pods.
Oh my
oh
god.
my
Yeah,
God.
you would have,
I
like-
did not
Why do I
realize
have like
that.
chills? I didn't realize it was so many hours.
Oh yeah, you would
Okay,
have
well,
like
you just-
daytime dates of like 2 to 3 hours, and then nighttime dates of like another 2 hours. Like we would like film until 3 a.m.
Oh my
It was a
god.
long time.
That is insane. I wasn't truly like realizing that.
Me
Yeah.
either. So you start. Do you meet everybody to begin with, and then
Yeah.
you sort of like narrow it down, like sorority rush?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, stop.
Who's
I'm
your
at my pref round.
who's
I
your
want my
house?
final 2. Yeah.
He like slips a note under your door. You're like, I got chosen for the next round. Well, for people that haven't seen the show, I mean, I guess. What are you
Nah,
guys
don't- I
doing?
don't need to
I
do
don't know.
this.
He turned out to be an asshole, but and said a bunch of stuff about you on television that you didn't know he was saying. But in the pods, it seemed like you guys were bonded, and
Yeah.
you chose him clearly.
Yeah, honestly, when I was talking to him, there was a lot of relatability there. Like from
sure.
like our cultures. He also was born in India, moved here. We bonded over the fact that like we kind of have this like internalized racism thing kind of going on, where like we saw that like if we were with a white partner, that it meant that we fit in or that we were cool. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of layers there that like kind of bonded us. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow. And he actually confessed to me that he was overweight when he was younger too.
What the heck? This is
Yeah.
just like it's a bummer. It's
Yeah.
that the way it turned out and the way that he is.
I know.
With all of this, like quote unquote potential.
Right. But you have to think about it. It's like, can people really change in like 6 weeks? Absolutely fucking not.
Not in 6 weeks. They can
No.
change, but probably not.
Yeah,
in
like you
6
can come
weeks.
to an
Yeah.
awareness or a realization that like there's something there or whatever it is, but it takes conscious effort to change and it takes years,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think a lot of the stuff he said comes from self-hatred. I mean, I don't care. There's no excuse for it. I think the stuff he said and did was disgusting, but maybe a lot of self-hatred in himself because he was overweight. He didn't feel like he fit in culturally. And so it makes him lash out at others.
Exactly.
Not that makes it okay. I didn't know that you were allowed to discuss cultural backgrounds actually on the show. I
Yeah.
didn't think you were allowed to ask that stuff, but
I feel like I mean, people have to be asking straight up questions about appearances, right?
Yeah,
They
I
just
mean-
don't show it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a lot. A lot of the other guys didn't really ask about physical appearance.
Okay.
Yeah, but also like if your name is DEEPTI, it's like what the
You're
fuck else are
Shake.
you gonna be besides Indian?
Yeah. Did I remember you guys saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that you hadn't dated someone else that was Indian?
Shake
Okay.
was the first Indian man I ever
That's
kissed.
right. Okay.
But also, I've only had like 3 boyfriends, so I'm like, it's not a lot of people.
Well, one was like 6 years long, right? We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So what happened on the show is like basically it seemed like you were like giddy and so happy and into it, and he was talking all this shit. So like,
Can we just say something? I've talked about this on our show, so I'll just bring it up now that we have her in the room. But when you guys met, I feel like he was all over you. His like hands were in your butt. Like I was like, he is grabbing her. Like he looked like he couldn't.
He was in that butthole.
He was in your butthole. Like I remember seeing his hands just in your crack. Like I was like, he was grabbing your ass so hard. I was like, he's obsessed with her. He loves her body.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it was so how it I couldn't reconcile it of like the way things kind of looked on screen in the hot tub. And it just was weird to me.
Oh, do you want me to? I know exactly what happened.
Okay.
Because I came out in a swimsuit and he saw my stretch marks. And I think he just like, he was like, no, it's not it for me, dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
literally as
God.
simple as that.
Okay. But he led you to believe, do you feel like you tell us, did he lead you to believe that like this was it for him? He was falling deeper into you, or did you feel like right away he was out?
No, as soon as that Mexico night happened, I could see his energy completely shifted. And it was kind of more me that was like, you know what? Like we've put in a lot of like, I guess hours together. Like we've built this emotional connection. And for me, you know, I guess I was just like, again, I do this with men all the time where I'm like trying to prove my worth to somebody. And I don't know, like I was in such an emotional high. I was just like, you know what? Like, I feel like you can fall in love with me. Like, just see that I can be a good wife, a good mom, like all of these things. And so I kind of talked to him off of a ledge. Like he was so anxious. And I was like, it's okay if we don't get married at the end of this. Like we have to, you know, give this process a chance and see if we can fall in love, if there can be, you know, a future connection here.
Yeah, I think that you handled it, I think, like so many people would have. Like you had this foundation, you talked for 50 hours, like you saw a lot of good there, even though obviously there was all these red flags, but a lot of them you weren't seeing. He was like saying the stuff off camera, or not to you, to other people.
And even though I saw red flags, like honestly, I just like see the good in people too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understood where he was coming from. I get it. Like how we're raised and what happens to us, sometimes it like kind of skews like how we act. And so I feel like, you know, for me, I like to give people chances to like kind of grow. And that's what I was trying to give him. I see goodness in him.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is even before you saw what he said about you on television. You get to the altar and you decide I'm out. So was that solely based on, I just feel like he's not even giving me a chance because physically he's not into this? Like what was your thought process?
Yeah, absolutely that, you know, I write about this in my book, but I think that moment was a test for me because my entire life I've been such a people pleaser, just like trying to, you know, I would always compromise. I'd be like, it's okay if this person talks this way about me or does this. And that moment was truly a fucking test. Like, did you learn your fucking lessons this entire, you know, lifetime of things that's happened to you? Like, are you ready to apply the things that you've done into your reality? Like, that's really what that moment was.
I mean, you at the altar was the best moment I've seen on reality TV. I mean, I was just like, this is the most inspiring lesson for like young girls everywhere, or even like grown women, to say like, I deserve better and I choose myself and we have this history and this would make for like a good TV moment. But no.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't, honestly, I had no idea what I was going to say at that altar. And those words just like came out of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
iconic.
You like inspired a movement.
I had no idea that would happen. Those 3 words, I had no idea that would have this impact.
God, I have chills. I remember watching it, and then Shake was so embarrassing. Remember he was like talking about Nobu.
Oh my God. You guys, I did go to Nobu with him on that Sunday.
What? No. That is the hottest tea of the episode.
Wait, afterwards?
I did. We made a Nobu plan. Because look, I thought I met a best friend. Sadly, I was wrong. I did.
Someone call page 6. This is the hottest tip.
No, that is so funny. Did you ever? I saw a meme. It was probably like on the Shade Room or something, but it was like Shake's gonna be at Nobu with
Nobu.
And you went with him.
No, okay. We had another friend there, but literally,
We're not judging.
No,
This
you
is just
guys.
so funny.
It's so hilarious because that's when I realized what he truly was. He literally took selfies with me as evidence that we were there, and then left like 15 minutes later.
Oh, gross.
I was like, and then every encounter we had after that, he would just take pictures and pictures. I'm like, why are you fucking taking pictures everywhere?
He knows what he fucking said.
Exactly. He's like, I want to prove that we're friends after the show.
Right, because the show would not air. It wouldn't air for months to come.
Yeah.
So he's almost like protecting, like trying to prove that he's a good guy, that you aren't mad at him, that all the stuff he said is valid, or just, you know.
Right. So my last question about him, you can ask more if you want, but my last one about
She's like,
him,
I'm
and then we
over
can
it.
move on from Shake, is so show comes out, you see what he has said about you to the public, and what do you think? What do you do? What do you feel?
Yeah, it was a lot of emotions. And honestly, like calling me his aunt, who gives a fuck? His aunt is great. His aunt's
Yeah.
hot. I could care less. It's what I heard behind the scenes that didn't get aired. That stuff mostly, like, honestly, like, I don't wish him any ill will. Like, I want the best for him. Like, be happy. I just can choose not to have you in my life if you're not giving me like positive energy.
Yeah.
You know, like, we are too old to be hanging out with people that are not good for us.
Yeah.
No, fuck
100%.
that. And I have every right to not have you in my life if you're a shitty person sometimes.
Yeah.
Not like carry that with you. I
Yeah.
think that's a good lesson.
Were you prepared at all for just to watch it back? Like, did he give you an inkling, or did producers, or were you kind of shocked watching?
Honestly, I saw him like maybe a couple weeks before the show had aired, and he was like, Deeps, it's gonna get ugly. Like, I'm gonna need you to have my back. And I was like, okay, like, why are you saying this to me? But honestly, having Kyle in my life at that time really helped me. We watched the show together. We woke up at like 3-4 in the morning and we'd like binge them.
Yeah.
And anytime I would judge myself or like whatever else, he'd be like, it's okay. Like, you didn't know. Like, you did the best you could.
Yeah. This is such an amazing example of, like, we always say, just because someone says something about you doesn't mean it's true at all. Like, that goes without saying. Like, you know who you are, you love yourself. So what this person who is very clearly insecure and self-loathing says about you is a reflection on him and not you at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it is hard to remind yourself of that in the moment.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I know this is true, but like, feelings are feelings. You get it and it hurts.
Right.
But yeah, you got to like just pull yourself out of that pain and be like, wait a minute, like, you're a badass bitch. Don't forget who you are, baby.
I love your
Affirmations.
attitude about this. And it's applicable to everybody in every situation, not just reality television. Like, I like what you said, where you said, like, I don't have to have him in my life. I don't have to, you don't have to marinate on it forever. You don't have to feel bad about it forever. It, again, like Ashley said, doesn't make it true. It's just your attitude about it is just like, that's a shitty person. It is noted and I'm all set.
Yeah.
And I just love your attitude about it.
Thank you. Yeah. Because honestly, hating someone takes energy.
100%.
It's like, give it no energy.
Right. Indifference. And so you didn't want to film with him on the reunion, and other people probably didn't as
Yeah,
well.
all of the cast.
Yeah. So I found that really interesting. That would they probably have brought him back, or like how was it? Maybe, I mean, it makes for good TV. You can say as much as you want.
No, you're totally right. Shake is good TV. He says a lot of things that are unfiltered.
Yeah.
And I guess people think that's real. But honestly, none of the cast wanted to film with him because he was bullying everyone. You guys saw the reunion show.
Yeah.
The reunion, or after the altar was filmed, like literally weeks after the reunion. And he had just attacked everyone.
Oh.
Like, why are you meddling in other people's
I see.
relationships? Like,
Yeah.
I loved watching the friendship between all the women. We all have such different backgrounds, and it was just really nice to watch the friendships from you guys grow, because I miss that on reality TV. It's mostly just tearing people down. So it was nice to see you guys all together.
yeah.
And you guys hang out
all the time.
I love it.
Literally, we see each other. I was just group texting them. I think I'm going to see them on Thursday or Friday.
I love
but
it.
Invite us, bring it to our show.
I'm telling you, come to Chicago, you guys. Yes, it will be so fun. They are so much fun, and we always talk about this. We're like, we all wanted to go there and find love, but we found love in the most unexpected ways. And it's like with these friendships, like
love it.
my ride or dies. I'll have them in my wedding. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That experience bonds you for life.
Totally. No one else can understand it.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, let's talk about, so on the show, again, if you guys haven't seen it, so Kyle was another contestant on the show. You became really close. He was somebody, Azul is hysterical.
I've been
This is
perched
his
on the
couch.
edge of the couch the whole, I'm
wondering
super
how you were doing
uncomfortable.
it.
Yeah.
That's your man. Tell him about it. Ashley's like, are we serious? It's your dog. It's your dog.
I can't tell him.
Do you want to come sit next to me?
No, it's okay.
We don't
Cozy on up.
So Kyle was the other guy from the show that you became close with, and you guys became like best friends. And then the whole storyline of after the altar was like, are they gonna be together? They're best friends. Do we cross this threshold? Should I fuck my friend? And then like, what happens if we want to like break up? Can we stay friends? So, let's talk about it.
Let's. Oh man.
And it was like teased at the reunion. And he did, I feel like he was the one that was like, yeah, I'm into her. Like, duh, you guys. And so we were just on the edge of our seat. So
yeah, Kyle and I, oh my gosh, what a perfect chapter for me. Honestly, we built such an amazing friendship, and it was like a couple months after the show had wrapped filming, and we just like connected. We started hanging out in group settings, and like I was just drawn to his energy. We just like we wouldn't even see other people in the room. Like if someone else was talking to us, we'd be like, wait, can you, I can't focus on you, you know, like it's like that energy was just like really intertwined. And we knew we always had feelings for each other, but we didn't want to cross that line because like, I don't want to lose my best friend. He didn't want to either. But, you know, at that point, like at certain points, like I would see him like go on dates and do things. I was too. And I'd just be like, oh my God, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate that you're with anyone else.
As Rayna would say, the friendship's ruined already.
I know.
You said it on the show. You were like, if he went out with somebody else, I'd fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that friendship's ruined.
Yeah.
So you might as well have your
Honestly, I did though.
And I know that feeling too. I know it all too well. I have like wanted to like be with a friend of mine. Well, I fucked them first and then wanted to be with them. But I like was like, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends. But every time a girl would go near him, I wanted to claw her fucking eyes out.
Yeah.
So okay, how did you guys make the producers made you?
Honestly, the producers did force us to talk about our feelings because Kyle and I would just like kind of tiptoe around them. We'd just be like, okay, obviously there's feelings here, but let's just not like go there. And producers are like, tell us what the fuck is happening.
I mean, that's good because you said on the show again, I keep quoting you back to you. You said like I can't live in this like gray uncertainty, and I like resonated with it so much because like if you're not forced to deal with it, like how many of us would have whelmed in it for so long?
Exactly. We would have just continued that like whatever the fuck we were doing.
I can't get over it. I could like watching it. I mean, I know I'm watching like an edited television show, but I've never wanted two people to work out so much in my life. I mean, and you're looking back on it. You said it was a great chapter. I love that, but it just felt like there's so much love here as friends.
Yeah.
So I just wanted it. And I was just in my head, like, is it really just because they don't want to like mess this friendship up? Like it seems so good. It seems like it would work out so well.
Yeah. And honestly, that's why we were like, okay, we have to take the step. And I told them, I was like, we're either going to be together or like I need to move on because this is just like too hard for me to like sit here and like dwell on these feelings without acting on it.
Yeah.
And so, we kind of came to the conclusion. I was like, okay, we don't want to lose each other. So let's just give this a shot. But guys, once you like have that title, it just like kind of changes everything.
Yeah, I want to hear more about it.
Yeah, like we got so much, like we honestly got so much attention overnight. And like that really like fucks with you. And like there's so much pressure. People have all these opinions and there's just so much going on. Plus like I know I get a lot of men in my DMs, so I know he gets a lot of that too. So there's temptation out there.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like we needed to give each other room to kind of grow in this new space. And we wanted different things out of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it sort of look like? Because I've never really done this, been friends with somebody, and then you're like, let's be together. And the next day you're like, oh my God, I just fucked my friend. This is crazy. Like, what does it look like after you've like touched your friend's penis? Like, I've never done it.
Okay, can I ask
Great.
again? Answer as much or as little as you want, but
It's great. That's your answer.
so we had the reunion in what, April or no?
April.
And then a few months later after the altar, or a few weeks.
Literally
later?
a few weeks later.
So
mid-April. So it was
April.
like,
And that is when you guys decided to give it
a shot.
Had you guys? You hadn't even kissed up till then, or
No, we
like
did.
you were spooning and kissing? And,
Yeah.
Okay. That's
we
what I
cuddle.
thought. That's what I thought.
Okay, but was the first time you guys had sex, was this so awkward? You don't have to.
No, it wasn't.
Was it so great? Were you like, I can't believe I get to do this?
Because there was so much pent up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you just like
What
fuck each other's
happened
brains out? I gotta know.
I don't want to upset you, but
Okay.
like, I want more information.
Is my mom gonna listen to this?
Definitely not.
I'm
We'll,
like,
we'll call
definitely-
it something
no, I'm just
disgusting,
kidding.
so she
Yeah.
won't listen. Like,
Censored.
was it just like, let's fuck all night? Like, I need every drop.
Every drop, Rayna.
Every drop, every interview.
Yeah. Was
No,
it
it
like
was great.
so exciting?
It was honestly, it was long awaited.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good time. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Did the relationship start great, or was it
Yeah.
was it immediately like, did we make a mistake? Like, was it a slow like fizzle out again?
No.
Like, and I don't want to upset you in any way.
No.
You can answer as
Honestly,
much
I'm
as you
not.
want.
It's therapeutic to talk about it, to be
Yeah,
honest. No, it started off really great. And I think what really got us was we decided to get a place in LA for a month. And we're like, let's just fucking go out there and like have some fun. Like we're in this whatever. And you know, like when you spend 24/7 with somebody, it was a lot. Like I needed to recharge. Plus like,
That is a lot.
yeah, there's so many layers there. I think like he was realizing like, you know, he didn't want to be in a relationship, like, or with me, whatever it was, you know what I mean? Because I think I wasn't being myself anymore. Like he brought out a different side of me. Like I was very insecure. And like, it was like, I was going back to those old patterns again of like codependency. And I identified that. So we were like, we had a conversation. We're like, was it better when we were friends? And it felt like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulders. Like, yes, the fucking pressure of being perfect for you. Like, and I was trying to be like a version of myself that would be perfect for him.
Do you feel like the friend version of me is just able to show up in a different way than the girlfriend version of me?
Exactly that. Exactly. I was just like more myself when I was friends with him.
Yeah.
Whereas in a relationship, I'd be like, I know the types of girls he's dated in the past. I'm like, I was just wanting to be this perfect person for him. And I'm like, wait, I just need to be myself. But it was hard for me to do that.
I love this discussion because it does truly show some people are just obviously meant to be friends, and some people are meant to be together. I mean, I have a friend that if we're in the room, we're like locked in on each other. Rayna's like seen it happen for years now. And it's always like how we have so much chemistry. We connect on such a deep level as friends, but I can't imagine dating. You would think you would look and be like, they should date, but I know that I honestly feel like I would be like that. I actually think if I really think about being in a relationship with him, it would feel like I would be trying to be somebody that I wouldn't have been when we were friends.
Exactly. A different version of yourself, or like the perfect version of you for him.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not me.
Well, I think when you're friends with somebody, you don't have the same emotional obligation to somebody that you do as a romantic partner, right? It's just, I need to check in with you all the time. I need to know that like you feel good. And if I don't feel good, how is that affecting you? And I don't think about that as much when I'm somebody's friend.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're friends also, it's like, he's able to flirt with other people. I'm able to flirt with other, but like when you get to that relationship thing, it's like, no, you can't fucking do that anymore. Like that will bother me. And so he's a very flirty person. I am too. Like, and that's another layer too. I'm like, I would get insecure even just like if he's like talking to somebody, like
he radiates big dick energy, sexual energy, flirty energy. Like
Ashley's been saying this for 6 months.
His level of confidence.
I love it. Yeah.
Yes. He's got that sexy voice. Like he's just like a short king around Chicago. Like I'm like
in his moped.
Is he really a construction worker? He's got a nose ring. Like how is that safe on the job site? Like I just am so intrigued by him.
Yeah. No, he's absolutely. That's like, why I'm intrigued by him. And I love a bad boy. Like I hate nice guys. It's a problem. When my mom was trying to get me arranged marriage, she goes, "What kind of men are you into?" I'm like, reformed bad boys. If you can find
reformed is the key word. Like,
because be my asshole.
We think they can grow
be
up
my
and
asshole.
change.
I love that. That's your merch idea.
So I like totally relate to what you're saying, where you're like, this was in my head of like, I don't like this. I'm stressed out. When you finally like said it, it was like a huge weight off your shoulders, and both of you were able to be like, oh my god, I feel like that too. And I wonder how long that was like in your mind before you said those words, because like I think that you can do a lot of self talk of like, well, if I say this, what's gonna happen? And what a great feeling when the other person's like, yes, I feel like that too. And you feel it leave your body. So like how long did you kind of struggle with that internally before you said the words?
Yeah, I think like I saw the energy was shifting when we were like kind of living together, I guess.
Don't live with people, guys.
Dude, honestly.
Can't stress it enough.
Why did I do that so fast?
I feel validated yet again.
Listen, I moved in with somebody after like 4 months.
And what happened?
We'll figure it out.
And what happened?
Dude.
6 weeks later, I was like, I don't want
I'm out.
this.
Bella,
She
are you
goes,
hearing this?
Uh-oh.
No,
Sorry,
Bella's man's a king.
Not a short king, just a king.
No, he's a tall king.
Oh,
And he's jacked. Yeah, he's
okay, queen.
He's an Indian jacked man.
Oh.
You know how to say that? Yoked. I
called him yoked up. Rayna grabbed his chest. We were at one of my shows, and Rayna was like, "You're looking yoked tonight." Like, grabbed his. I was like, Rayna, that's our employee's man.
It was the best chest grab he probably had that whole night.
So yokey.
I'm derailed. What am I talking about? Oh,
living.
I was talking to Ashley about living with my boyfriend. I was like, I don't know how his ex dealt with it. She was like, living with your boyfriend? We were right in the studio, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. And I was like really stressed out, and I felt like I don't know how to explain this information. And for like weeks, it just killed me. And the second I fucking said it, he was like, yep, me too.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly how it was.
Good.
Yeah, I know. We didn't. But you were saying that like that month kind of.
Wasn't
great.
We were just like, it was like I wanted to be with him 24/7, but I realized that's so unhealthy. I have an anxious attachment style sometimes. So I feel like, because I'm such an overthinker, so I need a partner who understands my overthinking and kind of helps it instead of makes it worse.
Okay.
Like, someone can't be like, oh, you're just insecure in the way that you're thinking. You have to like change the, how you talk to them and be like, okay, like, babe, I understand how you're feeling, but no, this is actually how I feel. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you just need somebody to understand it.
It seems like maybe you came out of this with even a deeper understanding of what you want in a person and what you need for your personality and your attachment style.
That's why I fucking hate when people are like, oh my God, season 2 failed. It's like, no, breakups are a part of life. That's what our season taught you.
Right.
That it's okay to break up and figure out what it is the fuck that you want and what it is that you don't.
And that's a win.
That's
Because nobody's still married.
Yeah, no one's together from this season.
Yeah, I don't think it's a failure.
No.
It's an experiment. They call it an experiment. I would say the majority of relationships from reality shows don't work out long term, but people come out of it better for it, and they've learned so much about themselves. They have new friends,
Right.
you know. So I don't know what people expect, but are you guys still friends?
We're just a different kind of friend now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, he's in a new relationship and I wish him the best. But, you know, once you cross that line, it's just hard to go back to the same old thing. You know what I mean? Like, it just can't be the same. And like, it just would, I would get really upset when he would like flirt with other women. Like, we tried to be friends. It just is hard. I can't do it.
It's hard, and give yourself time. Like, my best guy friend in the world, like, we slept together when we first met, and I was like, I was like completely obsessed with him, in love with him for the first year, and it broke my heart to see him go out with other girls. And I knew we weren't going to be together, so I was like, just push through this.
Yeah.
You want to be friends with this person. It would like rip my heart out of my chest to like hear him go out with a girl, but we are fine now after all these years. It's my favorite person. Like,
you're more than fine.
Yeah.
You're like best friends.
We're best friends.
Like, it was truly just time. Like, I really, if you guys want, I could absolutely see in it 6 months, a year, whatever it is. Like,
I would love that.
I
because
totally
miss
see
him.
it.
I text him sometimes and I'm just like, I miss our friendship so much.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. Sometimes I wish we didn't, but like, I knew we had to.
You had to.
We had to.
What if you, like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I want to know if you like regret it, but it's also like you had to do it.
Yeah. Because we had to take that next
To
step.
try.
Absolutely. Because otherwise we would just, even when we had that friendship, it was already going to be ruined if, like, you know, I couldn't be friends with him even if we didn't take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you'll date other people and time will pass and it'll just feel fine.
Yeah.
Like, it'll just be this funny thing we tried. Like, oh, I saw your dick. That's so funny.
I forgot I saw that.
Her friend, she brings it up all the time. It's just like, oh my God.
Some girl told him his dick like really hurt her the other day. And I was like, I remember.
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up. You did not say that. She's like, yeah, so how's the sex life? Like, I've been there, done that.
Yeah. It's been 7 years.
So many people are Eskimo sisters with Rayna.
Literally, half of New York and Chicago. Can we talk about your dating life before the show?
Yeah.
Because we were listening to you on another podcast on Caitlin Bristow's show, and you talked about it a little bit, but I'd love to hear a little more. So before that, you were in a relationship, you said, for 6 years. It was like pretty toxic.
It was so toxic, you guys. I like look back on it and I'm like, why the fuck did I stay for so long? And again, it stems from my insecurity. Like, I really thought, like, I'm not going to find somebody else who's going to love me. I have to make this work. So yeah, we were together for 6 years. I think a little bit on and off here and there, because I would catch him doing weird things, like, you know, trying to hook up with a friend, or, you know, just like whatever. It was a hard thing, but I didn't take him home to my parents the entire 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I lived with him.
Did they know that?
Yeah, well, now they do. They know everything, which is so great. But I used to really live a double life, because in the Indian culture, like, you don't bring somebody home unless, like, that is your person. That is it, you know?
Right. And you knew it wasn't deep down?
I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to work. And so I don't know why I stayed, though, still. I was like, you know, maybe he'll change. Maybe he'll come back around. But the last straw for me, I think he told me one night, he was like, I've been cheating on you this whole time.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fuck you, get out of my place.
How did that come up? Like, that sounds very casual. So how did he say this?
We were literally fighting. Honestly, the neighbors would be like, I heard you guys fighting. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
I used to be in that relationship, and looking back, I'm like, you could hear so much. Like, I heard my neighbors just talking loudly. The fact that they would hear us screaming at each other, I like am still mortified to this day.
Me too. I was like, I got to get out of this apartment ASAP.
I lose building.
Sorry,
I was like, please don't know
interrupted
me. No, you're fine. But yeah, no, exactly that. We were just like fighting about something, and I was trying to like fight for the relationship essentially. And he goes, Deepti, like, you don't get it. Like, we can't be together anymore because I've been cheating on you the whole time. Because he knew those are the words that he needed to say for me to be like, okay, yeah, this is 100% done. that's the last straw for me. Like there's no coming back. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So you feel like you said you grew up feeling really insecure about your body and you've lost tons of weight and you've had to obviously do a lot of like work to make yourself feel worthy and worthwhile. Do you feel like that played into just sort of like I found this person that loves me, so let me just deal with everything?
Yeah, exactly that. You know, I always compromise and I'm always, you know, even though my partner is draining my energy and I can sense it, I tend to just stay because I don't have the self-worth. And so like literally it's so funny how the universe works. Like it like literally forces you to change. And so there's like all these things that have happened, even Shake included, even the Kyle thing, you know, all these things happen so that I can keep learning my lesson. And you're always going to attract toxic partners if you haven't learned your lesson because you need to keep, you know, you keep going through that cycle.
Yeah.
And I feel like I finally fucking broken the cycle. I am ready to get what I deserve. Like I want a partner that, you know, that I know I deserve.
I love that. And I feel like you're not ready till you're ready. And so you will date people that aren't right for you or people that are great people, like that you have a friendship with, like Kyle, but you're not the version yet to meet like the person.
Yeah.
So I think that we all go through that. And every relationship that, whether it's toxic or not, whether it's just a good learning experience, you come out of it and you're like one step closer to being that version of yourself when the right person comes along.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I highly believe in law of attraction too. So if you're like, you know, vibing at a higher vibrational frequency of like just loving yourself and being badass, that's what you're going to attract.
Yes.
And if you're like at that lower vibrational frequency, you're going to attract toxic partners. That's definitely, it's coming out to fruition.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of it is just growing up and like having access to more information too. I always say like when I was in my early 20s, I didn't have anybody telling me what gaslighting was or that like I could fight back in these situations. I remember my first ex that I lived with in New York, he would say to me like, we can finish having this conversation when you're done upsetting yourself so much.
Oh my God.
And like he was such an unbelievable narcissist, sociopath, pathological liar, cheated on me all the time. But like I was 22, 23. I didn't even know how to say like the words to like describe his behavior. I had no idea how to stop it. Yeah. And you do have such little, not everybody, but I didn't know my self-worth back then. I was like, this person loves me. He's teaching me all these things. He has money. He's interesting. Yeah. You just get older, I think, and learn.
You figure it out. You're like, oh shit, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the book.
Yes.
And also like, can we just talk about when you decided to write the book? I feel like it happened quick.
It did. I wrote it in 7 weeks.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I wrote it in 7 weeks.
People who are trying to write books right now are triggered. I actually,
well, I have a question. Do you have a job? Do you work full time?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually just quit my job 2 months ago.
Well, I didn't know if like
I had a 9
being
to
a
5.
writer was like your full time job.
No. Yeah. I was in corporate America.
Okay.
I was in IT actually. So I was like half-assing both things, like this new platform I got, and it was like hard for me to like focus on that.
Yeah.
Plus work, like it was like a lot. So I was like, you know what? Technology will always be there for me if I need to go back to it. But you know, right now I'm like, okay, I got to explore new things.
What was it? The inspiration and
honestly, it was after the show came out. Like there was so many things, obviously, that Shake was saying. There's so many like people not understanding my story because you see such a small sliver. And like honestly, people put me on this pedestal of like, oh my God, like she's perfect. Like look how she stood up for herself. Look, choosing her. And I was like, no, I'm not fucking perfect at all. That's why I wanted to write the book so that you know people could read and see that I've gone through a lot of obstacles to get to that position, and it's not been easy. And so, you know, I'm just hoping that through my mistakes and how I've grown from them, that someone can relate to it and say, okay, you know what? Like, it's okay that I'm going through these types of things, and that it can help them to realize that you can get help. Because when I was younger, like therapy was such a stigma. Like I would never ask for help. So I would like internalize everything. And that led to eating disorders. It led to like me getting whitewashed. It led to identity crisis. Like there's so many things and so many layers to me that I feel like I really had to put myself out there.
Oh my God, I can't wait to read it.
I know.
I love that so much. And we get a question a lot of times, like, how are you so confident? And so it's like people really want
it's not about me, it's about
to be they're actually insulting me. They're like, girl, how are you so confident?
But for me, it's like you don't really seem to like yourself that much.
Stop it. No. But
I do.
I say it just because we get it a lot, which it kind of, it's upsetting that people would feel like they don't know how to be confident or that they're not or that they're insecure. And so, but I think it's so important to let everybody know that you're not just born this way.
Exactly.
And some of it is just fake it till you make it. And some of it, like I was watching the trailer for Bros, and Billy Eichner was talking about like he kind of had like a monologue was in the trailer, which was interesting, and like how he's confident. The way he explained it was really interesting. Like sometimes it's just like it's a choice to be a certain way,
totally
and then
is.
eventually it is your truth. But I like the journey of getting to this point where you can stand up at the altar and be like, I choose me, and everyone's like, she's a queen.
Yeah,
So now you're like backing up and telling the story.
The story, exactly. It's like it took a lot of work and effort to get to that position. And it's still every single day, I still have to work at it. So, yeah.
Good. Well, people, we've covered most of it, but people really did want to know a lot about your weight loss, your cultural identity, how you grew up, how your parents felt. So it sounds like this is really covered in the book.
Yeah, it definitely
read
is.
more.
That did come up a lot. Just, do your parents care who you date, or do they influence you? Would they prefer that you're with an Indian man? Or
honestly, yeah. I mean, I see the benefits of having somebody from your own culture be like intertwined into your family.
Yes.
Because when Sheikh actually met the family, like it was easy. It was so easy. When I met his family, it was so easy. It's because like there's this understanding.
100%.
Yeah. And so I get it. But I think my parents know by now that like I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do. They obviously want a nice brown boy. My mom was fucking manifesting Sheikh. My mom did that.
I loved your parents on the show.
I know, they're so great. They're such a good support system. And I talk about this in the book too, like seeing them evolve as people and like just letting me be. It was a hard thing for them to like relinquish control and be like, no, you need to do things this way. And so just to see them evolve as people and just be so supportive is so great. Like they were like, okay, I trust you.
I love that.
It's so sweet. I love them.
I love to watch parents grow. Like I love to see some growth in like the boomers. It's really special to me.
It's so sweet.
But I know what you mean. I mean, I don't know what you mean coming from like a white woman, but just
No,
even
you know
being
what
at
you
this Indian wedding, it's like there's so many cultural differences that I can understand it just being easier.
Yeah.
You just get it immediately.
But you know what is really funny? My white boyfriends, they would be like so invested in my culture. They'd be like, they were trying to like learn. Were you? Are you?
Well, how everyone's obsessed with Indian culture.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Everybody loves
wouldn't
it,
wanna
wants to
learn
know
about it?
more.
Yeah.
But that's so funny because when I was growing up, I would be bullied so much about it. Like they'd be like, oh my God, you smell like curry. And I'd be like, what kind of curry? There's like 10. I'm like, that's actually chicken biryani you're smelling, okay?
That clap back
Yeah,
is
the
so
clap.
funny.
No, actually, I didn't clap back. I would just be like, oh shit, I smell like curry.
No. Oh my God. For your
It was
parents for
bad.
being open-minded about it. It's nice to see that your parents are just happy as long as you're happy.
Yeah. And I think, mostly they know. I feel like they always know what it is that I need because every relationship I've been, they're like, yeah, that's not going to work out. But I guess like you can learn your lesson the hard way. And I'm like, hi, Mom, it didn't work out.
Well, what a blessing to have parents like that are like, she's just going to fly.
Yeah, she's exactly. They're like, we got it right with the other two. We're good.
Are they? So you have what, an older brother?
Older brother and a younger
sister.
Yeah,
Okay, and
they're
are
angels.
they both married?
So my sister is not married yet. She's 5 years younger than me, so
Okay.
she's still figuring it out. But she only dates brown guys.
Okay.
And my brother is married to an Indian girl.
Okay. So can we just go back to the book really quick? Because I really do want to know more. Like, were you just sitting writing, like banging this out? Like you would quit your job before that, or were you trying? Okay.
Yeah, I quit the job, and then honestly, I was talking to my publicist, and we were like, I always had this thought, like I wanted to do like a self-help book, but then I thought about it, and I was like, why the fuck would anyone want to read a self-help book for me? Because they don't know anything about my background, or like why would I even have any like insight into that? So I was like, it should be an autobiography. And it's easy to write about yourself. It's not like a, fictional story.
But it's self-help by nature. Yeah, like it's going to help people. Like I mean, from what you're telling us, I feel like it already naturally falls into that category. So you really achieved both.
Yeah, I wrote this in my preface, and I was like, if this helps one person to just know that they're not alone, or that they don't have to make the same mistakes that I did, then this book is completely worth it. And I've gotten so many messages.
I bet.
It's so cool. Like I did a book signing in Toronto last week, and at least 4 to 5 women have cried with me. And they were like, you have no idea like how much you've inspired me. I was like, we were just bawling.
You like
together.
changed somebody's life. It's really beautiful.
It's so sweet. I'm like,
it's really so special.
That's why all this hurt, everything that I've been through, it's so worth it just for that moment. It really is.
Oh my
God. Well, guys, the book is available now.
Yes.
You can get it. Tell everybody where they can find you, your Instagram, your book, anything else you want people to look at.
Yeah, Life with Deeps on Instagram, and my book is out exclusively on Amazon.
Okay.
Okay.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being here. This is so fun. I'm so glad we're friends now.
I know. I can't wait till you guys come to Chicago.
We will be there. But you guys can find Vibes Only at vibesonly.com. Vibes Only on Instagram. You can download the app for iPhone and Android. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast.com. Tickets to the live show will be there. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram. Ash Hess, Rayna.Greenberg, girls_gotta eat on Twitter. And we'll see you next week.
You're really crushing this. Have a good week, guys.
Bye.